Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. We got some news on DeShawn Watson. Now, there's three big cases, of course, um, that suspensions will probably come out of. The first one being DeShawn Watson, then there's Alvin Kamara, and then, of course, for us, here's Kellen Joseph. Supposedly Tuesday, the hearings for how long DeShawn Watson's suspension will start in determining how long he will be suspended. Some believe that it's going to be lengthy. Interesting tad bit here for the Browns. If DeShawn Watson is suspended for the full year, if Deshaun Watson is suspended for the full year, basically the contract for this year does not exist. And what happens is it just moves down the chain another year. So, of course, he got to sign his bonus money and this, that, and the other, so it's not like he's broke. But then next year's cap number will be about, his salary cap number, or his salary for next year will be $1 million. 1.3 million, I think it is. Plus, of course, the prorated money that's on top of it. So the Browns actually would get relief. They would actually save, I think, $10 million on this year's cap. And currently, they have more cap space than anybody else, and that's with Baker Mayfield still on the roster. Now, of course, that leaves them with the problem of having a team that's loaded that should be able to compete for playoffs and maybe a Super Bowl, just don't have a quarterback for this year. So either way that you look at it, it's not a good thing if he gets suspended. At least it won't cost them money, but definitely will cost them having a player. So there's that. And then I think after that situation starts being heard, then of course you'll hear something about Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara's situation is his criminal hearing audit is in August, but there's word that the NFL might put him on the commissioner's exemption list until they decide what happens as far as that goes. There's also going to be a liability case as well, a civil case where basically they're trying to get paid for it. Everything comes down to the bottom line of trying to get paid. Speaking of trying to get paid, I'm excited about tomorrow. I always love going to autograph signings because it's in the off season. It's a chance to see a lot of Cowboy fans and stuff. I've met tons of followers actually at the autograph signing shows. It gives me a chance to kind of, get a little extra footage here because let's be honest, it's a dead time right now. Teams aren't practicing. You're holding your breath and hoping that the players don't get in trouble and so on. But tomorrow, Micah Parsons will be there, Marcus Ware will be there, Nat Wynn will be there, George Teague, Mr. Cowboy, Bob Lilly, Randy White will be there, and so on. Bill Bates, Billy Ball. And I like going back because it's an opportunity to meet some of our players of today. Oh, Jalen Tolbert. Yeah, Jalen Tolbert. I've got actually a great piece that I'm going to get him to sign tomorrow. It's a great opportunity to meet our future stars, as well as the guys who made the Dallas Cowboys. There is no America's team without Bob Lilly and Randy White. There is no special teams player in the Pro Bowl without a Bill Bates. George Teague pushing T.O. off the star when he was out there trying to showboat. These are iconic players that the Dallas Cowboys have had. Iconic moments that they've had. And for a lot of these guys, they weren't prepared for life after football. get to become a professional football player, most of these guys have always been a football player. They focus solely on being the best football player that they can be. And everybody has helped point him in the direction of focusing in on football. Many of them aren't ready for life after football. When the crowds are no longer cheering, when you don't have that money stream that's coming in, and everybody has been out there with their hand out, taking what you've earned. For some of these guys, this is one of the few ways that they're making revenue. And that's sad because you think about what some of these guys have meant to the Dallas Cowboys. You think about a franchise that allegedly is worth $10 billion, and the people that made them worth all that, some are penniless. A lot of people don't care about the older players. They don't care about the history. They only care about the here and now, and that's tragic because my whole thing has always been, I'm old school. If you don't know where you came from, you certainly don't know where you're going. And this is where you have to understand your history. People want to change history, sugarcoat it, hide it, act like it didn't happen. But you have to understand, your history is your history. And everything that's happened in your past, everything that I've gone through in my life has made me the person that I am. I can't ignore or forget some of those things that made me who I am. And that's where we as a country, you can't sugarcoat and hide the things that we've done, because if you don't understand the mistakes and the things that worked in the past, as they say, you are destined to repeat them in the future. That's why I love seeing the old school guys. Understand that when you have somebody like Bill Bates, the importance of special teams. We've got special teams that have let us down over and over again. When you see a guy like DeMarcus Ware, who was not only an incredible player, who's still a mentor to guys like Micah Parsons, but also that nice guy that shows you that nice guys don't finish last. When you think about a guy like George Teague, who wasn't going to take any bullshit in his house, even in a loss. I'm going to defend this house. I'm going to defend my team. When you think about a Randy White, a guy who put fear in the opposition, half man, half monster. You think of a Bob Lilly. Bob Lilly, Mr. Cowboys, one of the greatest defensive linemen in the history of football, who helped create the dawning of the Dallas Cowboys and America's team. You guys don't know all that. You need to go back and look at some of the glory days of the Dallas Cowboys. Especially, you knew Dallas Cowboy players. They set the standard of what it meant to be a Dallas Cowboy. And they did it not for the 20, 30, 40 million dollar contracts. Most of those guys had jobs in the off season because football didn't pay enough to support them full time. They did it for the love of the team, the love of the sport, and their teammates. It's truly a different era, y'all. Maybe, in some regards, this generation needs to learn and get back to some of the values that those guys had. So, my last piece has got about an hour and a half left to go before it's done cutting, and I got to spray paint it. And then I'll have to get up real early to get some varnish on it before we leave to go to the Chantilly, because I think the doors open at 10. I got to get my tickets, and I think Bob Lilly, I think he's at 11:15, so we need to be there first thing in the morning. And I got to get her done. Anyway, hope all of you guys have had a great weekend, and be safe out there. And as always, I'm going to tell you, tell the ones that you love them, because you might not get the chance again. I'm Mark Holmes. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon, God willing.